What's up, everybody? It's your boy Spiderwolf back for another Umamusume video. So today we're going to talk about should you summon for Seiun Sky, as well as the brand new support banner with Silent Suzuka and Tomomo Cross. But before I get started, I would greatly appreciate it if you could drop a like, comment, subscribe. Would really help me out trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. But with that being said, let's get into this. So we have our first actual good Uma to summon for. Now, mind you, all the past Umas, even though they weren't the best, if you did like the characters, nothing wrong with pulling for them. Definitely, that's one thing about this game. Pull for whoever you want. Support banners maybe a little bit different, but for any Umas, right? Pull for who you want, right? But in terms of meta, right? Seiun Sky is the first Uma that's actually worthwhile to throw a couple carrots on, because she's actually a pretty good Uma. So let's break her down. Let's go over what she does here. So her attributes here: she has 98 speed, 98 stamina, 88 power, 83 guts, and 83 whip. Now her main strengths are going to be towards speed and stamina, then power, and then it's going to be guts and whip, but basically about balance, right? She's going to be great for turf tracks, she's great in medium distances and long distances, and she is going to be perfect for front running, and she can work as a pace chaser. However, there's a reason why she has A in front running, because it's going to bring in a brand new meta, basically. Now she has growth rate towards stamina, and by 10%, and then 20% for wit, so pretty cool there. She has a unique skill called angling and scheming. Increase acceleration at an opportune moment when in lead on a corner late race, basically as a front runner. She also has some potential skills here, which will be activated once you do ascend her a couple times, right? So on her first ascension here, you're gonna get front runner savvy, costs 110 skill points base. Basically, you get moderately increased ability to get into a good position as a front runner. So basically, just your movement abilities, like good positioning and all that. Her third one here, level 3, Vanguard Spirit, costs 160 skill points, increased ability to maintain the lead when leading by a large margin mid race for long races. Of course, still playing into the whole her being a front runner. The next skill here, Tail Held High, costs 100 skill points, slightly increased velocity after activating many skills mid-race, which I think is a pretty good one, where you have the whole activating skills, granted in this case mid-race, but I usually like that one because it helps you, kind of ramp a bunch of things up. And then last one here, Escape Artist, costs 180 skill points, increased ability to go to the front mid-race as a front runner. So basically, all this is just playing to the fact that she should be a front runner. Yes, you can make her work as a pace chaser, but she's going to be much more valuable as a front runner. Also, I did find something new on the the Google Doc, which we'll be taking a look at, which will give us a bit more information as to the Uma and their strengths, basically, what makes them so good. Also, I did want to bring this up. We do have a Champion Meet Gemini Cup coming up, which is basically the 3v3 kind of thing going on. So get ready for that. Basically do I think it's the Open League one, where you only do B rank Umas. That's the one you want to go for if you're not a whale, or if your Umas aren't super built, because you can at least get decent rewards out of that one, have an actual chance of placing well, compared to the other one where you're locked to A or higher, right? And then you may not get that many good rewards. But overall, this is coming out pretty good time for good rewards, but also a little bit rough, right? Bit rough if you don't have any Umas built up. Anyways, let's go to Seiun Sky here, and let's look at more info of what she has here, right? What she has cooking up for us. So we went over this, her innate skill, her innate skills when you awaken her here. Oh, actually no, these are a little bit different. So innate skills, these should be the skills that she basically already has, right? So she has hesitant pace chasers, slightly increased velocity of pace chasers late race, keeping the lead, slightly increased ability to maintain the lead when leading by a large margin mid-race during long races, and lastly, fast pace, slightly increased ability to go to the front mid-race as a front runner. And then these are the other ones here that are her ascension skills. We went over those already. And then here's the evolve skills. So these are basically the different requirements you need to do to evolve these skills to become even better, right? So first one here for Vanguard Spirit. Originally this one did was basically increase ability to maintain the lead when leading by a large margin mid-race. So basically just helping her stay towards the front, right? But basically the conditions you need to do to evolve it are win the QQ show, or when any G1 long race 3 times. Also, get at least 2 skills for a long aptitude, or get slacker status effect, which is the debuff. So, Might be easier, to be honest, to get the 2 skills from long aptitude compared to the slacker one. Slacker one might be a bit more situational in my opinion, so getting the 2 skills might be the better route to go. But basically it now upgrades into fast retrieve, and then basically for any long race at a random point during the middle of the race, if you're in the first place with a clear lead, your speed will increase. So that's pretty cool. Basically ties in really well with front runners, right? Next one here for Vanguard Spirit. This is a second looks like it's a second option that it can transform into, so you can either have fast retrieve or you can have Angler's Wisdom here, which is interesting. And then it says in the whatever race this is, I'm assuming, or whatever, basically some sort of training event here, you select the second choice, or you have to have at least 600 stamina, which will probably be an easier option, and then get at least 2 skills from medium aptitude. And then you get Angler's Wisdom, and for any medium race at a random point during the middle of the race, your stamina will greatly recover. So you can basically turn this into a recovery blue skill, or you can turn this into another yellow skill that will basically amp your speed up, right? So overall, 2 pretty good options there. We have another one here, Escape Artist. This one was the last one here, increase ability to go to the front mid race as a front runner. And then basically the conditions for this one are have at least 600 stamina or have at least 800 wit. The 600 stamina is probably going to be a bit easier, to be honest. You need to get at least 2 skills for front aptitude and get at least 3 speed type skills. So these 2 shouldn't necessarily be too bad depending on what deck you do build for her. And then basically this one will transform into or upgrade into Operation Escape, which basically any runner, if you're in the first half of the race, at a random point during the middle of the race, your speed will increase. So basically, when to make it the midway, as long as you're towards the front, or if you're the front lead, right, you will get an extra speed boost, which also ties into her being a front runner, right? Now here's a different skills she can get from events here. We have Subdued Late Surgers, slightly increased fatigue for late surgers early race. Deep Breath, slightly increased fatigue by taking a breather upon entering a straight. For long races, we have Front Runner Straightways, slightly increased velocity on a straight as a front runner. We got Shake It Out, slightly recover endurance after activating many skills late race. We got Highlander, slightly improve running up on an uphill. Steadfast, slightly increased ability to fight back when passed by another runner on the final corner medium. This is great as her as a front runner because there's a chance some pace users may try to come up, or late runners, anybody come back basically, like Oguri Cap, right, or Gold Sheep. This will be great so she can still beat them out. And then we have Hesitant Late Surgers, slightly increased velocity of Late Surgers late race. And finally, Fast Pace, slightly increased ability to go to the front mid race as a front runner. Basically all things that are going to help her and aid her into being in the lead as a front runner 99% of the time, and hopefully not get her beat by anybody that's like a pace chaser, right? And then these are going to be her races here. So we have the usual junior make debut, then we have a requirement of get at least 3,000 fans, then we have place 5th or better in the Satsuki show, then we have place 5th or better in the Tokyo Yushin Japanese Derby, then we have 3rd place or better in the Kika show, then 3rd place or better in the Armin Kennen, then 3rd place 3rd or better in the Tennosho Spring, then 3rd or better in the Tarazetsuko, I'm saying this horribly, Takarazuka Kinen, my bad guys, place 1st in Tennosho Autumn, and then finally place 1st in the Army Kennen. So if any of these look interesting to you, there you go. Also, we do have a couple of mix. We have long, medium, medium, long, 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 medium, medium. So basically all her races are going to be involved medium and long. So it's about evened out between the two. But her last one is going to be long. And then, yeah, that's pretty much about it. So if any of those races look interesting to you, there you go. Overall, she's a pretty good character to pull for. Technically the first Uma that it's like not a requirement, but like the first good Uma that is actually worth investing a couple carats into. And the next one won't come out till I think maybe October or November for the summer units, because some of these summer units are actually pretty good. Now, the thing I did want to bring up was this brand new thing that I know it's been around for a while, but I just kind of like realized it / looked at it, was they have a whole page here or section in the wiki that, or I keep saying the wiki, the Google Doc here for the Umamusume global stuff, and also for JP, right? Where it basically just breaks down like what each Uma is good for, and if they're really bad or really good. So 1 is really bad, 5 is really good, and then there's different things. So it's basically, it goes into 3 different rankings. Basically, for team trials, if they're good as a parent, and then the last one, runners. So basically, like if they're really good as like as a runner, or if they're gonna basically be good as a parent or as a team, good in team trials, right? So let's go on back. All right, so going into Seiun Sky here, she has the different ratings here, right? So front, she's 2, so that means she's not really that great as a front runner, because if it's closer to 1, it basically means not as good. If it's closer to 5, that means it's really good. So as a front runner, she's not really that great, and as you know, her specialty is to be a front runner, so she's not really that great as an Uma to be running and stuff. In team trials, also same thing, not really that great. However, as a parent, she's really good. 5 is the max, that's the best one, so she's a really good parent here. And there's a little bit of a summary here as to more information here. So we'll take a bit of a read here. So Seiun Sky revolutionized fronts with their unique in basically every medium and mile track, as well as some others. Fronts will want to use her as a parent, even some paces want her unique. Basically pace chasers. However, she herself is very lacking. She doesn't have the skills required to keep up with other front runners and won't be able to use her unique. However, if fronts are bad on a track, she can be good. So basically, if everybody else is kind of not great, then she can win. In a pace meta, Seiun is generally the only front runner that can compete with them, as long as there aren't any other front runners around to ruin her day. So basically, the gist is that she's a great parent because of her unique skill here. If we go back to what her unique skill is, it's called angling and scheming, increases acceleration and an opportune moment when in the lead on a corner and a late race. Basically, right when you're about to get to the finish line, right? When you take that corner. So basically what they're saying here is that she's a great parent specifically for that unique skill, but herself as a runner isn't really that great. So you could skip her if you really wanted to, since she's only really useful as a parent. Or if you really want to, which is possibly a bigger brain thing, is just use a friend of basically that has Seiun Sky, borrow their Uma of Seiun Sky, use them as the parent, and then you could have your other Umas to like give you the other stats or whatever that are also gonna be great if you want to build a good front runner or pace chaser, right? Because she can't work as a pace chaser, since that skill can work on pace chasers and also could be very useful, right? And that's basically all Seiun Sky has. So overall, not a bad character to pull for because she does have some value, but at the same time, herself as like a Uma isn't really that great. And if you guys don't know, there's going to be some other really high quality Umas if you guys are interested for more meta stuff coming near or coming soon, basically coming soon in the future. It won't be this month, but it should probably be in next month, which will basically be like Summer Marzensky, and then eventually we're going to be getting very soon, also or semi soon, Christmas Ogre Cap. She's also really good, which is kind of funny because the first Ogre Cap is also pretty good, right? So the main ones to really look out for technically are Seiun Sky, but then it's going to be Summer Marzensky, and then it's going to be Christmas Ogre Cap, and then I think there might be a couple others sprinkled in that aren't too bad to pull for. But overall, do I think it's worth it to summon for Seiun Sky? Honestly, if you have a decent amount of carrots to lie around, I wouldn't blame you if you want to do maybe like a 110 roll, but honestly, it's not really worth dumping any like carrots if you're not going to go all the way to like a pity for character. And in my opinion, this isn't really a character to go all the way to pity for. I'd say this is more of like, if you want to do like a freebie multi for the character, go ahead. I don't think that's a bad idea because her unique skill is pretty useful, but at the same time, she isn't like a super like necessary character. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Before I do wrap up the video though, even though it's slightly long, oh yeah, before I get to that, I almost forgot. The support card banner, right? We got Silent Suzuka and Tamama Cross. Is that one worth rolling for? Honestly, if we go to the tier list here, this is just based off the regular career URA basically, and it's going to be useful in that. It is considered B tier for global, so it's not super crazy. It's weaker than what is it? A Biku and a Sakura, so not really that great. And this is at MLB. And then the other one is Tamama Cross, which I think is Stamina. Yeah, it's Stamina, and it's D tier, weaker than Satoru or Satono Diamond, and also way weaker than Supercreek, right? So overall, not really good banner to summon for either for support card banner, so you can totally skip out on support card banner. It is not really worth summoning for. I mean, Silent Suzuka isn't that bad, but at the same time, I really want to go out of my way to pull for this banner. I don't think it's really worth it. But yeah, honestly, like I said, overall, if you want to do some pulls for Seiun Sky, I'd say maybe do at the most maybe 110 roll. Otherwise, you might as well just save up your carrots for the more useful Umas that will be coming up in the near future. I mean, to be fair, she's still good because of the unique skill, but mind you, only good as a parent for unique skill, but as an actual runner herself, not really that great. Because if any other good front runners are in your race, they're going to stop her out and she's not going to be able to do anything, right? But the one thing I did want to get to though, now that we're here, I figured we might as well do a fun little roll or two for Seiun Sky. See, maybe we get a little bit lucky. So alright, so sorry about that, it'll be a little bit of an issue, but anyways, let's go ahead and do some summons here. Now I could do a 10 roll, or I could do a single here. I think I'm gonna do 10 roll, just say fuck it and see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna just do 1 10 roll here, see what happens. Just because, you know, might as well, you know, have some fun with it. As I was saying before Uma was like, hey, you didn't play the game or touch the game for a bit. Let's do it for 1 10 roll, see what happens. See if we get Seiun Sky or not. Honestly, I'm kind of whatever. If I get her, cool. If I don't, it is what it is. I'm just gonna do like 1 10 roll for funsies, and maybe we just 1 single, just because I have the option to for like a discounted price. So let's see if we get anything good here. Let's see if we got nothing. Oh, or maybe not. Okay, okay. Got 1 rainbow. Got 1 rainbow. All right. Who could it be, guys? Could it be the Seiun? Oh my gosh! On the first! Yes! Woo! Let's go! Let's go, chat! Let's go! First 10 roll, we got Seiun Sky. Ooh, that's what you love to see. All right. Hey, what can I say? You know, some of us just get a little extra luck, you know. All right, let's fucking go, chat. Now, who's the gold gonna be? Unless, you know, maybe it'll turn to a gold. It's a 3-star, huh? Ooh, Grass Wonder. Okay, I'll pick that. I actually don't have Grass Wonder. Pretty cool. I mean, hey, like I said, I'd say maybe do like 1 10 roll or whatever. But yeah, honestly, very cool stuff. But with that being said, guys, good luck with you guys summons if you guys are planning to summon for Seiun Sky, because she's, like I said, good parent. Not as great as a runner, but a good parent. But regardless, with that being said, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace and take care, everybody.